So yeah, there often be multiple correct options.
Yeah.
My answer is the balls my feet.
Yeah. This, I think, could also be something that depends on like what shoes you're wearing, how you tend to walk normally.
Yeah. So I use 0 drop shoes. Like none of the shoes I play in have any heel. Right. It's the same thickness throughout. Right. If you have like modern, like if you have like boots or like modern running shoes, it's gonna lift up your heel a bit and encourage you to be a little more heel tipped. Again, all of those are fine.
Because of the way the padding is.
Yeah. All those work. Anyhow, so focus on changes of direction and continuous movement. All right, begin. Still me. You're working with the instructor. You just get to follow along.
I think you were already trying to do Yeah, actually, he is Phoenix, Cincinnati, and one more.
No, that's correct.
Okay, that's And I'm also thinking a lot about what's the answer behind. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
All right, switch roles. You're in a lead.
Okay.
Ready?
There's a hole in there. Try to get it off of that. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah.
All right, pause. What questions do we have coming out of the footwork section?
So I was just telling someone that I probably knew this and didn't realize I did it until I was paying attention to it. Saw footwork, but
yeah, a little bit of that.
Sometimes if I do the quick transition,
Sure.
it never really.
Yeah, that can work.
Yeah.
Steve, it also works well if you're avoiding a leg cut. Right. See,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of, you're intrigued and sort of find a balance point right here, and then you roll back into the advanced from that.
Yep.
It's interesting.
I guess the trick there may be like, hey, if I'm wrong that I don't want to advance, then I can reset myself.
Yeah, two options. The Bolognese, for instance, use a lot of gyro steps. A thing you want to avoid is kind of doing like the Dorothy, like putting your heels together. Right? Like, I see more in the retreat, people do this, and like, that is a moment where I get to hit you.
Right.
You're not doing anything right now. Right, if you want to pass, that's fine. But yeah, like if you're, right, like pendulum, right, and right now, is what I watch. Cool. Other questions, thoughts?
Oddly enough, I found that it was easier leaning back to move because when I wanted to go backwards, this foot's nicely, it's not a lot of weight on it, but I could pick this up, bury that in the ground, and I was moving suddenly, and I found the more I got lazy, the harder it got.
Yeah.
And it was easier if I stayed back, which was counterintuitive and a cool thing to experience.
Wow. Kind of the same thing.
We won't, right?
So what you guys do one here?
Hi. Hi, Raphael. What? So we just kind of did intro to footwork. What's your background in rapier?
Been hanging out with him for a few months.
Do you have gear with you?
Yes.
Cool. So now, everyone grab a sword.
Squirrel with swords.
Did you say squirrel? Swords, not swords. You squirrel swords.
Squirrel with its swords. Swords?
Also my bag.
Swords?
No, my shoes, my other.
It's gotta be like the third one.
Oh, that one I do currently have. It is with the regalia to be redone.
Okay.
By whether we're
Bob
prepared
to come back in the room.
Which for a change.
I'm waiting for Bob to come back.
What, so, quick question.
Yes.
So one of the things I noticed when I was doing it, was I would drag my feet a little bit to control my speed. So I wasn't trying to like,
Show me.
so she would press me and I would just like that to keep my foot on the ground, to
Yeah.
keep some connection to the ground and control my speed so they weren't outpacing me or I wasn't outpacing them to keep measuring.
So a couple things are happening. So when he did that, you're moving your weight forwards,
Yeah.
which was going to get you popped in the face.
Okay.
As well, because we don't fight indoors a lot, I tend to encourage people not to drag because it's really easy to trip over a thing that way. So I think right now it's compensating for your like, trying to catch up. It's supposed to be more intentional. Like I have chosen.
Okay.
Where my feet are going. As opposed to like up, I'm catching up to where I'm going. That's how we're starting.
That does explain, I think center of balance is moving up and down.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
When you want to keep it stable and low.
Yeah, so my head is over this knee.
Okay. Yeah, because I've always, fighting wise, I've always played with my center of balance. It's one of the things where I will purposely look like I'm off balance, but.
Yeah, and you can intentionally break rules.
Yeah.
Cool. So, swords. You're excited about all swords right now. Your shoulder's gonna be so tired at the end today. So we're gonna go over the lunge. So the nice thing about yes.
Before you do that, I did have one question about the side steps.
Please.
Generally speaking, I don't sidestep front foot to the left. To the right, I'll front foot first.
Yep.
To the left, I'm back foot first.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, if you do a lot of this, you can hit it.
Yeah.
I had a friend who would circle and he would do, and I launched every time
Right,
I did this.
yeah. Thank you.
Cool. So, the lunge. So the nice thing about Italian right here is that it does one thing really, really well, right? There's not a huge vocab list. There's not 21 different guards. You're doing this one thing. The downside is you get to do that one thing forever, and you're only honing that. So the fundamental action in this system is the lunge. So the way this works is and Shrunk actually gives us the best explanation of this out of any of the masters. When I'm going forwards, it's going to happen in 3 parts. If you want to like kind of follow along, that's fine. So the first thing, so I'm starting in my stance. I have about a fist distance between my tricep and my ribs. Right, so I'm not extending my sword too much, but I'm also not resting it here. So the first thing I do is I extend my sword. Right. So Kevin, I'm going to use you because you're standing across from here. So folks, look over here for a second. If I am close enough that I can just hit him with my arm, I'm just going to hit him with my arm. My goal at every event is to do all 3 tournaments that day and to be in the finals. I have to conserve energy. If I don't have to do a lot of work, great. The other piece is safety, right? If we're this close and I lunge, look how much sword would theoretically go into his ribs.
Yeah.
As well, I am now closer to his sword. So you want to do the least work necessary. So We're gonna work on just, so kind of do it just, if you want to do it paired, feel free, otherwise just kind of do it solo. Work on just extending that arm forwards. A thing we want to avoid, don't snap your elbow. My elbows hyperextend, right? They go past like the 180 mark, so I'm really conscious of this. But I've seen a lot of people, a lot of fencers with elbow braces, especially with these low guard people, they go, and they snap. Your elbow does not want to do that.
You can fix that if you dislocate it.
So just extend from the arm and then pull back.
Yeah, not jabbing or just extending.
And I want you to start with your tips pointed at their face. Cool. Do that a bit and then walk around. So reset. Now, yeah.
Okay, it's too
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, if you're here, right, you're threatening a cut, the thrust, right, has to line up and then fire.
Okay.
If I'm here,
I was sort of trying to keep it at, I was having it at eye level. I thought I was at eye level, but if it's lower, it's better,
Yeah.
that's cool.
right, so you had it about there,
Yeah,
you wanna,
down here, yeah, that's what, okay, I see the threat, yeah. We're good.
yeah.
I'm not arguing.
Oh,
Yeah,
did you?
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, also it's terrifying when it's like a box.